So let me quickly actually play the tribute of Kalam video. Raj, are you ready to play that, or shall I play? You see, this is the one we are getting now live streaming, right? Thank you all for watching a nice video. Now we welcome Dr. Hari Panapalli, the chairman and founder of Lead India Foundation, USA. Dr. Hari has been, he has been actually mentoring for the last 10 plus years. He was very closely associated with Dr. Kalamji for more than 12 plus years. And with his great association, he got inspired and driving this organization to global level and inspiring all the team. So Dr. Hari is basically in the finance industry for the last 35 years. He lives in New Jersey, USA. And may I request Dr. Hari to give opening remarks?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ram, for playing such a very inspiring video of Dr. Kalam. And I would like to welcome Dr. Rucha for this very interesting session. And I was reading about her, and she's doing extremely good work in the fields of health, especially, and very inspiring, Dr. Rucha, to have you here as a program director, and especially you are aligning your goals with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations in the good health and well-being area through your foundation called Samvad NGO based in Mumbai. And we would like to welcome you to the Lead India Foundation and we would like to look forward to hearing from you on your insights into how you are planning to address the health and well-being of individuals, especially during these COVID times. A lot of people are going through, mental health issues, and again, physical health. You cannot imagine how bad it was during the COVID times, during phase 1 and phase 2. Unfortunately, the phase 3 is not as severe as expected. Very fortunate to have that. In addition to this, Lead India also provides affordable quality healthcare, education, and focuses on environment sustainability, and ultimately bring peace and harmony into the society. So recently we added agriculture sector also for sustainable agriculture to empower women and youth in the rural areas of India and other parts of the world. And we have a solid team of people who are dedicated to promote Dr. Kalam's vision and mission. And every week, this program is hosted to bring in different parts of the world, people with a lot of experience in implementing the SDGs. So this month happens to be a very special month for the Lead India because we are celebrating Dr. Kalam's 90th birth anniversary. And after orbiting around the sun for 83 times, Dr. Kalam left this planet on July 27, 2015, as you know, while addressing the IIM Shillong students on the topic of creating a livable planet Earth. So we are a dedicated team of people who are taking his vision and mission forward in a humble way. And there's so much need to be done. So we are collaborating with synergistic individuals like you and organizations who are looking to adapt some of these concepts that we are promoting. And sincerely appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to hearing from you. So our host today is Raj Menon, who is conducting this session, and he will be hosting this moving forward as well. Our chairman, Varad Raj Krishnan, for this innovation area is busy, I think, traveling today. He may not be joining us. I may be wrong, but Raj will continue this session. And Dr. Ram Maruri is our managing trustee and secretary general from Hyderabad, also on the call. So we have Ms. Susila, who is helping on this session, to Raj Menon. So they will assist you whatever way you need to take this session forward. Again, once, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm based in New Jersey, USA. Anytime you need to reach me, I'm available. And Dr. Ram or Raj can share my contact information. Again, welcome to the Lead India Foundation. Look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hari, for a lovely introduction. And so without preamble,
Raj, your voice is weak. If you could speak closer to the microphone.
Yeah. So without preamble, we will give the dais to Dr. Rucha Shetty. And before we ask Rucha Shetty to speak, I will request our MC for the day, Ms. Sushila, to give a brief introduction of Dr. Shetty. And yeah. Sushila, please. Sushila, you're on mute. You'll have to unmute. Okay. Sushila, can you hear me now? Can you please introduce the
Yes, sir. This is better.
speaker?
This is better, sir. Thank you.
Please introduce the speaker. Yeah.
Okay. So first, I would like to introduce host of the series, Varad Rajan Krishna, and post which I would like to introduce our speaker of today's event as well. So starting with Varad Rajan Krishna, Lead India, Lead for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Varadarajan Krishna, Managing Director at Induct, AS Asia, and MENA, who hails from Harvard Business School, is also a co-founder of 100 Open Startups, lives in Bengaluru, urban, Karnataka, India. Varadarajan Krishna, Lead India, Lead for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, is an executive turned serial techpreneur, an angel investor with a track record in a career spanning over 25 years, and has been through 5 exits, including 2 IPOs. He has been part of startup community that had developed products and IP ranging from embedded software, BPM, telecom, and clean tech. Varadarajan Krishna is currently engaged in building open innovation communities worldwide through Induct. He is also involved in a few global startup programs, and notable among them is the 100 Open Startups. The 100 Open Startups movement connects startups, entrepreneurs, and scientists with the innovation strategy of large companies looking for solutions and opportunities for the challenges of the society and the market. He is involved in various startup initiatives in India and worldwide as a mentor and jury as a way to give back to the global entrepreneurial ecosystem. Varadarajan sir is co-founder and CEO of The Gain, a not-for-profit accelerator based out of Bengaluru. Through this initiative, Varad sir wants to share his knowledge, experiences, expertise in scaling startups from early stage to growth stage, eventually leading to exits. Varadarajan Krishna has been deeply involved with the highest funded IoT startup in the energy sector, WinAMR, where together with its founder chairman, built the end-to-end smart grids company from its inception to revenue stage. As one of the board of directors of WinAMR, he drives the overall strategy for the growth of the company. Now, I would like to welcome Varad sir, if he's available, Lead India, Lead for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, the host of today's event, celebrating World Entrepreneurs Day, sustaining innovation through entrepreneurship, meeting one entrepreneur every week on Thursday. So Varad sir, if you're available.
Varad sir, as Dr. Hari said, he's traveling, right? So we can continue.
So it's a privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Rucha. Dr. Rucha, MD in Community Medicine, residing in Mumbai. She did her MBBS from Pravara Institute of Medical Sciences, then completed 2 months of posting as a pediatrician and also worked under an MD medicine doctor. She has participated in surgery and medical camps all over Maharashtra, was part of Nirman workshop. After completing MD in community medicine, worked for 6 months at Search NGO in the mental health department. Also worked in the admin department at Seven Hills Hospital, which is a dedicated COVID hospital. The founder of an NGO, Samvad, Beautiful Conversations, which works towards better mental health. Worked as a consultant at NESCO, a jumbo COVID center, currently working as a resident medical officer at Hallow Medical Foundation at Andur, a village near Sholapur. A Bharatnatyam dancer, avid reader, poet, and a blogger. So may I now welcome Dr. Rucha, founder of Samvad NGO, keynote speaker of today's event, celebrating World Entrepreneurs Day, sustaining innovation through entrepreneurship, meeting one entrepreneur every week on Thursday. So we welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sushila, for the kind introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, you're very clear.
Yes, yes. So, yes, I did MD in community medicine, but that was not my first choice. I always wanted to become a pediatrician. But so my mother told me, before you decide which field you want to, first work in that field and then decide if you want to do that or not. So I did 2 months of plain post in the Department of Pediatrics in a hospital in Mumbai. But then during that time, I myself suffered from a mental health disorder. So it was a very tough time. That is why I did only 2 months over there, because I had to do 6 months. But I had to drop out because I was suffering. So at that point, I realized how mental health is important. So, and before you start taking care of other people, you first yourself should be healthy and stable and be able to give others. So that is how. So after that, I took admission in community medicine because it was not a very hectic residency, and it was good for my mental health also. But while doing this residency, I realized that public health as a department, as a specialty, is not given much importance in a country like India, because it is mostly preventive. So in our country, curative medicine has been given more importance. So because curative medicine results you can see immediately, but in preventive medicine, the results are not that evident, because if you tell people, if you wear a seat belt, you will not have any accidents. But when you cannot count how many deaths were prevented because of wearing a seat belt. So the results are not that evident in preventive medicine. So people don't know actually what preventive medicine is, what community medicine is. So and also after working at Search NGO at Gadchiroli under Dr. Abhay, I realized how documentation is important, how it is necessary to, um, assess the impact of what you're doing. Just doing social work for the sake of it, or providing services. But when you provide a service, you should also know how to assess the impact of whatever you're doing. So, taking all these learnings with me, we started this NGO last year in the thick of the pandemic. By just having a conversation with my friend, I was like, I have this idea of an NGO in mind. So we sat together and we decided what all needs to be done. And we started off with an Instagram page because we first wanted to form a team and wanted to put it out there that we wanted to work in the field of mental health. So that is how I chose mental health as a specialty where I would like to work in. Also in cooperation with public health and preventive medicine. So so I sat down and I wrote down the objectives for this NGO, and I realized when I was suffering, I got a lot of help. There were educated people around me. I got the best of treatment, and I got good medicines. I got good therapy and good counseling measures. But not everybody is that lucky to get all these things. So, but I realized the therapy sessions, it costs some amount. Like every session was for 1,000 rupees. My family and me could afford it, but everybody cannot afford that much money. And mental health is a very basic thing which is common to everybody. It's not necessary that something serious should happen and then a person should take therapy or go for counseling. Anybody going through a crisis or some difficulties can go to a therapist and get at least get their mind stabilized so they can solve the problem on their own. And what I learned about counseling was, in counseling, you do not advise anybody anything. You are just helping that person to take their decisions on their own and be firm with their decision and be okay with those and not be afraid of carrying them out. So keeping these as principles of counseling, I wanted to start this NGO. And can I share the PPT right now?
Yes, you may.
Yes.
So, Tejaswini Pethe is in second year MBBS right now. I met her during my Bharatnatyam class, where we used to dance and perform together. And she told me she wanted to become a doctor too. So when she joined MBBS, she was the first person I went to with the idea of this NGO.
Okay.
Happiness can be got from everything outside materialistic gains, but inner happiness, whatever it is, comes only from serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. So why we chose mental health? There is a lot of mental health gap in. According to WHO, there are 0.3 psychiatrists for this population, while desirable is okay. Desirable is more than that, and one for each patient. But psychologists are less than that, 0.07% per lakh population. So, and the burden is, according to a study done in 2017, 1 in 7 people suffer from mental health disorders. So this is the distribution of prevalence of mental health disorders in all over India. India has been ranked 139 out of 149 in the annual World Happiness Report in 2021. So at Samvad, the main goal is mental health for all and creating beautiful conversations. Beautiful conversations doesn't necessarily mean flowery or all the time positive conversations. Beautiful conversations mean what is necessary to change the narrative of the concept of mental health in India. So the key principles are: make mental health a priority, build a community to have conversations around mental health, create innovative strategies to reach out to the underprivileged for mental health, and using tools of psychology to make people self-sufficient. So the objectives include inculcating mental health services, primary health care, creating awareness about mental health, providing free telephonic counseling, working on relevant research to form simple solutions. This is the logo of Samvad, which denotes all for one and one for all, inclusivity without judgments, unity and love. And there should be a flow. The logo shows 3 people of different color coming together and having a conversation. So we do counseling, we do research work, and we create awareness through this NGO. We got registered on 12th of November 2020. The team includes 2 directors. We have in the last week we added more counselors, so we have 28 counselors right now. We have 5 psychiatrists available. Yesterday we had a session with Dr. Manoj Bhatodekar and Dr. Mohan Agashe, and we talked about schizophrenia. And we have 34 now. We have more than 50 volunteers currently. Our frontliners are obviously our counselors, and they were like, we learned a lot too while working with Samvad. Like clients made me realize what I'm capable of, and this is what Prajakta had to say. So the other counselors. So to book a counseling session, you have to go to our website and fill up this tiny form through which we get an email about the client, and then we put the client in touch with the counselor. These are some of the feedbacks that we got from our clients. So awareness we do through our social media team. We have through Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We have different interviews of eminent people on YouTube, and groundwork that we have done is we have created awareness among migrant workers during the while they were shifting, and we also do capacity building of community health workers for creating awareness right now in the slums in collaboration with another NGO. So these are the three research works that we have started. First is, so we provide free telephonic counseling, but to know if that counseling or the therapy is effective or not, we have documented all our calls in through a Google Forms, which the client and both the counselor fill up. They see the progress of the client with each call, and we are seeing what the progress is. We are developing the feedback form. So at Samvad, we try to do everything which is evidence based. We don't want to impose our own ideas on whatever research work we do. So we have a team which does a lot of review of literature and everything. So from that we gather evidence, and we are trying to prepare the feedbacks from currently. So there's the other research work which is on elderly mental health in slum areas. The other one is implementation research on mental health. That the third topic is just in the brainstorming phase. So we have not yet started with that research. We have journal clubs every month. So this month we did our 10th journal club where we discussed this research paper. So normally we discuss all these research works from Lancet and see if we can replicate those research works in our context. So we have counseled actually more than 200 clients till now, all over India from different states and some from outside India too. We have had more than 20 collaborations with other NGOs, 10 journal clubs, and we have taken different workshops. There was a group therapy session also for people from the LGBTQ community, where we made them feel inclusive and created a safe space for them to talk about their anxiety. Then this is one big research work that I talked about in the previous slide, which we are collaborating with the Center for Study of Social Change. We've finished with a pilot study in which we realized that there is a huge burden of mental health problems in the slum, elderly people in the slum areas. We collected the data through the community health workers, which are from the slum areas itself. So they did the screening. We prepared a questionnaire, and through Google Form, these community health workers talk to the people. So normally these elderly people are like, you ask us so many questions, but what will we get in return of these questions you are asked? So just to give an incentive to these people, we created a mental health kit for them. The kit contained a stress ball, bead, a necklace of beads, so for meditation, and there was a photo frame, there was a notepad, there was a coloring book for elderly people. So they felt that I'm answering so many questions, so I'm getting something in return. So these are the mental health kits that we provided for them. So what are the advantages of our organization? It's an online organization. Since we started it in the thick of the pandemic, we didn't have any option but to keep it online, and those whatever volunteers are contributing, they're doing it from their home. And because of that, we don't have any geographical boundaries, so we can reach out to as many people. Obviously, those who have phones and internet, but we have connected with people from Orissa, Himachal, Jharkhand, Ranchi. So following the new normal, we are working from home with no fixed working hours, but we have deadlines instead. So it is a very comfortable environment for the volunteers also, so they can work whenever they are free. What are the limitations? Whatever limitations there are of telephonic counsel compared to face-to-face counseling, because it's on the phone. But one advantage also is that the stigma to the telephonic counseling is less compared to face-to-face counseling. So it takes a huge amount of effort to first accept that you have a problem related to mental health and then get out of the house and go to a counselor's clinic. But it is very easy to take your phone and just call us. But there is not much interaction with the counselor. So trust is very less with the clients towards the counselor. So that is a limitation. In our team, we are still working on the finance aspect of our team. Then everyone is volunteer based, and so the most times limitation is that they do not they're not very consistent with the NGO. So everybody works during the free time, and it's mostly part time whenever they can. So mostly the counselors have a trouble keeping consistent with the clients. So because, and one more thing is they do not get any incentive from working with us. But yeah, we have 28 counselors associated with us, but not every one of them is active at a particular time. So we are working on that. One more thing is we're not targeting a specific disorder, but catering to mainly all mental health. So it's difficult to study the impact or effectiveness because every disorder has a different scale attached to it, where you can assess how much anxiety is there or how much depression is there. But overall, we are trying to see if we can study it qualitatively. Future plans. During this workshops, whatever we have learned is that college students have a lot of issues. So we could have group therapy sessions with colleges. So tribal people, mostly we have seen from my experience in Gadchiroli was that there is very less stigma related to mental health in tribal areas compared to urban areas. So it will be easier to create awareness about mental health over there. So we want to start with community activities related to that. Then integrate mental health services with primary healthcare centers in association with the government of Maharashtra, but we're working how to do that. Also, innovative strategies to bridge the gap in mental health through artificial intelligence, and train volunteers through workshops and training programs so that they can contribute towards providing services for mental health. This is a very new idea that we had in our team for the therapy app, where we put people directly in touch with the counselors. Currently, we are getting emails. So me and Tejaswini, both of us check our emails every day and put the clients in touch with the counselors. So through this app, they can do that directly. In this app, we would like to have different levels of counselors, because sometimes we've seen that not everybody needs intense therapy like CBT or RBT, but some people just need somebody to listen to instead of talking to them about their problems. Just vent out their problems. So for them, we could have a category of counselors which are called the listeners or the volunteers. And so the counselors will have different levels, the clients will also have different levels. Like we can categorize the plans according to the severity of their stress level, the mental health triage system we could have through this app. So this is an app we want to create in the future, but yeah, we're just working on that. Thank you. So this is a small effort by two Bharatanatyam dancers, which we started on 27th of June to continue the conversation on mental health leading to zero stigma.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful, Dr. Ucha. This is very well organized. And so, what is the advice you will give to upcoming entrepreneurs, people in this space?
Yes. So I think decision making is a very important aspect because whatever if you have an idea, the idea is only good enough if it can be implemented immediately. Otherwise, it will not like it will not be realistic. So whatever you have in mind, just take a decision, whether right or wrong. But if it is the right decision, then it will go very well. But if it is a wrong decision, you will know that it is a wrong decision only after implementing it. So you can correct it immediately. So I think taking decisions is important. And I think what I would like to advise is just don't I mean, you need to understand why you're doing it, what you're doing it, and what do you mean by doing it, and learn to assess the impact. Like, is it really making any difference, or are you just spending all the resources for nothing? So you need to use your resources wisely and take help. I think what the right thing I did was I took help from everybody. So a person might have wonderful ideas, but they cannot actually do everything related to it. So for me, I had the idea of counseling people, but and I thought that I will do it on my own. But I realized I am not a certified counselor. I am not a psychiatrist. So I need to first have capacity building of myself, but I could take help from other people. So that is why I formed a team, and forming a team is, I think, very important because I think the more brains you put into it, you get a lot more ideas, and it becomes more creative and innovative.
And see, I noticed you mentioned that you have Bharatanatyam dancers in your team. So
Yes.
is that a prerequisite to become a counselor?
No. No, but we do advise dance therapy for people because it helps in stabilizing your mental health.
Okay. And see, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's is something that's doing the rounds. Is that something that you also cover, or is that kind of mental stress?
So we haven't touched on those mental health disorders till now because we have been reaching out through social media platforms to people all over. So the age group that we get is mostly from 18 years to 25 years of 18 or 30 years of age. So we also have people, elderly people who approached us 70 years and 80 years, but they are not that much. So we don't, we have not yet touched those issues yet.
Okay. And so I'll throw the session open for any questions from the attendees. Right?
Yeah.
So anybody has questions?
Yeah. Raj, I would like to ask Dr. Rucha. So right now you're focusing, looks like, on adults, right? Mental health for adults.
Adults more than 18 years, yeah.
More than 18 years. Now, what happened with the COVID situation is some of the children lost both the parents. and they are under extreme stress because of that loss of their dear ones. Any plans to expand into that space to have a pediatric under 18 kind of situation to counsel them? Any plans?
So while working in the hospital for COVID duty, we used to put them in touch with we used to like for adoption and all, we used to do that. But we have not really done the mental health therapy thing for them, but we will look into it.
And also one more question, you are an NGO, but all these counselors are volunteers or they're paid through some
No,
other
they are
mechanism?
volunteers. They are
Okay.
volunteers, they are not paid.
Okay, and yourself also a volunteer, I'm assuming, right? Do you work also, Dr. Rucha, somewhere?
Yes, I'm currently working at Hallow Medical Foundation. It is in a village called Andur near Solapur. It was started by Dr. Ahankari.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you so much for taking the time to volunteer in addition to your full-time job. So in order to expand this, probably like in different parts of India, do you have any plans to grow this organization?
Yes, we have volunteers from different parts like Delhi and Gujarat and Hyderabad. So we could start by forming teams over there first and identifying. So before providing service, I think we need to identify what problems are there in those areas, especially, so that we can focus more on them.
So what is the process to onboard a counselor onto your portal? I'm assuming they'll onboard themselves once you convince them. Then they will publish their availability on the website, I believe. And the patients who require the mental health counseling, they will go to the portal and they'll try to pick and choose based on the geography they are in to match. Is it only online counseling through telephone or they will be meeting in person also?
It is only telephonic counseling.
Okay. So as a mental health counselor, I publish my availability and the patients go and pick and choose
Yes.
whoever they want to based on the preference of language or region,
Yes.
all those things, I believe. Okay. So I think Raj, this we can collaborate with, and so the portal is online, so people can be from any part of the India. From overseas point of view, there may be some privacy and HIPAA compliance rules and all those things, but within India, we could have Dr. Rucha's platform expanded to other parts of the country as well. And do you have any restrictions from the government? Any disclaimers or anything from the government controls here, or you following all the regulatory procedures from Indian Medical Council or whatever authorities that you need to go through?
Yes, because the counselors are qualified counselors with a degree in clinical psychology. So they are allowed to provide therapy for all types of mental health.
Okay, there are no legal issues that we need to pay attention to. There will be some disclaimer, I think, when they sign up that we are not responsible for any consequences because of the service provided through this portal, right? When they sign
Right.
up. Okay. All right. So I think I'm good, Raj. You can ask any others. They may have questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Richa, for spending the time with us today and sharing your valuable insights into mental health and anything that we can assist you as an organization to grow these offerings that you have to other parts of the country. We'll be happy to do that. Raj will take it forward, working with you offline. Again, thank you, Raj, for hosting this session.
Thank you, Dr. Hari, for the encouragement and support. So Dr. Richa, yeah. So before we conclude, is there any other questions that are there from the audience? Dr. Richa, any concluding remarks from your side?
Thank you for inviting me on this platform and asking me to share whatever work we have done. And I think, yeah, that's it.
So a big thank you and a hi. Yeah. So thank you formally. Thank you, Dr. Richa Shetty. It has been very instructive, and it's really good the work that you're doing, right? And it's really awesome that you're able to take time from a busy schedule and also do it. Very impressed to see that you actually grown to 50 volunteers, counselors, and in different parts of the country. That's awesome, right? I will get in touch with you, as Dr. Hari mentioned, in terms of seeing how we can help you expand and some of the ideas you have, and see how we can reach out to mental patients, mental stressed people. And as Dr. Hari also suggested, you could probably consider the children under 18 if that is a capacity related issue, or it's something else. Then maybe a focused manner we can look at that, right? So
We
maybe
do
you
have
can send us.
children specialists, psychologists who are specialized in pediatrics. We have
Okay.
on board with us.
Okay. And you yourself have been a pediatrician earlier, right? So you have worked as a
Yeah.
pediatrician. Yeah. Okay, great. And yeah, so we look forward to working closely with you. Thank you so much. Right? And a big thanks to the members in the audience. Let me just see who all are there. So we have Sushila. Sushila, lovely intro that you've given to both Dr. Varad and Dr. Rucha. Thank you, Ram sir, for all the support and for organizing this. Dr. Hari, for all your encouragement and guidance. See Smita and Dhruv here. Thank you so much for attending. Right? And we call the session to a close. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Raj, and thank you, Richa. Thank you, Sushila. Yeah, thank you all. Bye-bye.